I always wanted to be my dad. What if that happens? What if I become him and I don't even know it?
Hi everyone, and welcome to another Marvelous video. The Invincible TV series has yet to take a pause on its journey to the ultimate crescendo for thrill, and true fans are dying to draw similarities and plot links to those of the comics. Nolan being taken in for execution, Mark's fight with Anissa. They all have their counterpart storytelling in the comics. It was quite shocking and partly disturbing to watch Nolan have a child with a Thraxan, which made up for the rebelling Viltrumite's determination to stop his fellow comrades from killing innocent Thraxans. The Viltrumite Thrag later had also interbred with Thraxan females, which eventually gave him a disposable army. With all that said, we won't be focusing on the children of Thrag or Nolan, but that of Mark, aka Invincible. Throughout the series, Mark's character shapes beautifully. He had struggled to maintain his morals against formidable opponents, while also toiling to have a peaceful life. He's always been shown to be having a soft side of care and pathos that he received from his mother. The series highlighted that when he took responsibility for Nolan's second child with a Thraxan. Let us begin exploring the origins of Mark's children and their equation with Mark. Tara Grayson. Tara Grayson was the daughter of Mark Grayson and Samantha Eve Wilkin, better known as Adam Eve. Terry Grayson's delivery was done in a Viltrumite ship, where his mother was already undergoing surgery for her dismembered leg, owing to one of Robot's past attacks. The delivery was critical, and after the baby was born, Mark held her and cried. Although Mark was present during her initial days, he had to leave abruptly one day to stop Thrag. Although Mark thought he had disappeared for days, he was absent for 5 years. Later in life, Tara got her training in combat and joined her father, Mark, on several missions in space, involving different alien species. She was very compassionate but had a dislike for Earth owing to its limited technology. One of the most disturbing incidents in Tara's life was when Thrag killed both her parents before her. As showcased in issue 132 of Invincible Volume 1, Mark, Eve, and Oliver had a gruesome fight against Thrag and his children. Thrag tried killing Tara, and her parents gave everything they had to stop him. Eve's face was crushed, and Mark's body was torn in half by Thrag, who later sat with Tara on his lap and smeared her face with the blood of her parents. This was indeed a traumatizing event for the young child. After growing up at some point, Tara had an affair with Abraham, the son of Duplicate and Immortal. She would take up the mantle of Invincible and be the third Invincible. Her decision for keeping the coalition of planets was highly scorned by the Viltrumites, for which she had to alienate herself from her parents for quite some time. Marcus Murphy. The very cause of the birth of Marcus was disturbing. He was conceived by Viltrumite Anissa after she forced herself on Mark. In the pages of the comics, Thrag had tasked the Viltrumites to mate with other species with similar DNA and increase their numbers. Pure-blood Viltrumites had then decreased drastically. Anissa was tasked to do the same, and she chose Mark for his half-Viltrumite origin. She made a few attempts to convince Mark, and then used her superior speed and strength to rape him. She later gave birth to Marky and had settled on Earth with a man. Before she left for the battle with the Viltrumites to save Earth, she thanked her husband for making her a better person. During the battle, she died while saving Eve, and in her final words, she apologizes for what she did to Mark in the past. Marky was introduced in Invincible Volume 1, Issue 129, released in June 2016. After the Great War against Thrag, Mark was made the leader of the Viltrumites. After completing the ceremony, he went back to Earth to meet his mom, and that was when we got to see a glimpse of the struggle Anissa's husband had to face for Marky's growing rage. His powers, owing to his Viltrumite heritage, kicked in, and it was obviously uncontrollable for the child. Soon, Mark and Eve were informed by Immortal that a young child had been causing an overwhelming rampage in the city. They rushed to the scene and found young Marky in the streets, crying profusely. His newfound powers had not only scared the residents, but also himself. Armed officers had no choice but to stand their ground, and when Marky tossed a car at them, they started shooting the child. Young Marcus cried in terror before Mark and Eve arrived to take control of the situation. Mark took Marky to the sky and revealed his identity. Marky was shocked to learn that Mark was his father, which he accepted and remained calm. Mark later explained to him about his heritage and all about Viltrumites. Later, when he was taken back to Anissa's husband, he was confused with his two dads and called Anissa's husband a real dad while Mark was the space dad. Debbie later took him to Arthur Rosebaum, who made Marky a new Invincible superhero costume. Marvelous verdict. So we finally come to the end of today's video, and we hope you've liked our content. The TV series has so far been loyal to the comics, and we have yet to see how they manage to deal with the sensitive pages of the comics. Although we're pretty far from seeing Mark having a child, we're definitely excited to see how the two will be portrayed. Needless to say, we're also waiting for Nolan and Mark's struggle against Thrag. Thank you for watching the video to the end, and feel free to add your views in the comments section. That's it for now, and stay tuned for the next Marvelous video.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.